Good evening. All right. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231, and adequate notice of this meeting, as provided by a notice sent to Star Ledger and Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. Pledge of allegiance will be led by Carl Ostergaard, Jr., American Legion Commander. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our servicemen here and abroad. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Yep.
Mayor Huber,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Present.
Committeeman Capides,
Here.
Committeeman Kaiser, and Committeeman Weber is absent.
Okay. Proclamations and announcements. Springfield 55-plus residents calendar is out for November. Pizza with the Police, Wednesday, October 29th at TD Pizza from 5 to 7. If you can, stop by and say hello to the police officers. All workers needed. Earn $300 for November election. Please call 908-527-4123 for details. Early voting sites are open from October 25th to November 2nd. Please visit Union County Board of Elections website for locations. The drop box for mail-in ballots has been open since September 19th, is located in the back parking lot of Chisholm. Flu Clinic, Wednesday, November 5th, 4 to 6 at Chisholm. No appointments required. For information, call 908-851-8507. Leaf collection has started. Starts Monday, November 3rd through December 31st. Only grass and leaves will be collected. No branches or sticks. Please keep all leaves no closer than 10 feet from the storm drain or catch basin. All town offices are closed Tuesday, November 11th for Veterans Day. The ceremony will be held on Veterans Day at Veterans Park at 11 a.m. Next Township Committee meeting will be Wednesday, November 12th at 7 p.m. There's also a blood drive in remembrance of Detective John P. Patrick, Wednesday, November 5th, 1 to 7. Chisholm Community Center, appointments encouraged. Walk-ins welcome. Call or text 732-672-5281. Public hearing on community block development grant. Brian O'Neill. And John Pasicolo.
I'll make a motion to open the hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Now take it away.
All right. Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brendan O'Reilly, and I'm here to present the Year 52 Community Development Block Grant application, which we use for our senior citizen transportation service. In recent years, the county has awarded us approximately $13,000. This money is used to pay a portion of our bus driver salaries, allowing our program to grow and expand. These funds help our senior citizen program by providing transportation for our seniors to go wherever they may need to go on a daily basis. For example, this service is used by seniors to get to doctor's appointments, the post office, the gym, grocery stores, anywhere in Springfield. As long as it's in Springfield, we can get them there and back. This transportation service is a free service for all Springfield seniors and is available to them 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and they can reserve a ride up to 2 days in advance. Our department also take seniors on monthly bus trips to farmers markets, mall trips, casinos, and theaters, among other things. For example, this month we went to the Museum of Early Trade and Crafts in Madison for a guided tour and lunch. Springfield has multiple senior housing complexes, so it is essential that we provide this service to our senior population. Our drivers service around 130 seniors annually. The Recreation Department finds this grant extremely beneficial to the town because it helps us continue our commitment to benefiting our senior citizens in any way that we can. Thank you guys for your time.
Anybody have anything?
Yeah, I just take one issue with what you had to say. People who don't know me, your beginning, your reputation precedes you.
anyone's
And I
watching
think
or
that your family, not only you, but your family have a long-standing commitment to public service in this town. We appreciate you and what you do, and we appreciate your presentation every year. And thank you for everything you do for the Recreation Department and all the stuff that we don't see you do, that you do for us. Thank you for that, too.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Brendan. CDBG is a great program.
Always happy to.
Very good.
On that.
Public comment on it,
Don't you use voice name?
You have to move to close it.
or close.
Fieldstone? Okay, I thought that was later, because that is on 2020. Okay. We also applied for the CDBG grant that we're going to do this year for transportation, which is for Fieldstone. We asked for 140,000. Last year, we got something a little bit less than that, but that will help pay for it. I think the total that we're estimating is about 220 to do Fieldstone. So we get 140, it'll pay for a good chunk of it. So that's on tonight. That's your resolution 2025-264.
Yep, last year we got 120, I think.
Yes.
And it was a marathon of meetings in the committee that I'm in, so.
Now, public comment, agenda items only.
Well, no. We have to, I'm gonna make a motion to close. Before we close. Oh, public comment.
Oh,
I second that motion.
Well, no.
public comment. Public comment
Yeah.
on agenda.
No, we have to ask for input.
Public comment within the hearing. Anyone want to say anything?
We swear it's not our first day. I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing and discussion portion of the community block development grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Now, public comment on agenda items only. Anyone? No one? All right. Close. Reports. Administrator?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple things I want to touch on. I don't know if anybody went by Scotty's today, but they started doing demo. I don't know how far they got it in come that way in tonight, so I'll check on it in the morning. We did milling today on Midvale and Northvale. We're both milled today, and weather permitting, we're going to try to pave tomorrow. A couple other things I wanted to touch on. We did get a grant from Greening Union County matching grant for 25 new trees. All 25 trees will be used to fill residents' requests. This gives us a total of 50 trees planted in 2025. Residents can request a tree through our website. Some other paving that's underway for the balance of 2025 is Highlands and Windsor, Diamond and Lawrence. We're going to try to get those plus the two I mentioned before the end of the year. Bring the total number of roads that we did this year to 19. Leaf collection, I want to touch on, Mr. Mayor, because you briefly touched on that. One of the things we're seeing already, and Tamara, can you bring up that picture for me, please? This is some of the kind of thing that we're already seeing, and I just want to explain, we're not trying to be mean. I want to explain why we can't pick this up. When we're loading our vehicles, we're scooping up the leaves, we're dumping it in a truck. If it's leaf, we pay $5 a yard to get rid of the leaves. If we get a pile like this, we have one of two things. DPW then has got to stop, separate them, or they got to go back and pick it up. If it's a contaminated load, we pay $20 a yard. So that's why we're not going to pick this up. You'll get a notice from DPW that it's got to be separated. We'll be back out to pick it up after nothing but leaves are left.
Can they drop the branches off by the pool?
Yeah, you can, yes.
You know, spot for that.
But again, we're not trying to be mean, but it causes us a lot of grief and a bunch of extra money.
But we do let them know that
Yes,
we can't take.
we will pass it, and there'll be a notice left for them explaining why and what they need to do.
Perfect.
And that is posted on our website also, on the front page. Make sure that we don't leave any plastic bags out, other than the leaves will be passed over until unacceptable material is removed. So that should hopefully cover our leaf collection situation. I did want to touch also, we've been working with the bid and Jay about, Chris had brought up, Committeeman Weber had brought up about awnings downtown. So we've been talking to a couple of awning places about what we possibly can do, and also trying to put together a grant program for the businesses. We're trying to come up with a standardized, kind of 4 colors, the lettering, what it should look like, and then they would apply, and if it qualifies, they would get a grant. We're trying to figure out, because one of the things that we thought about was, we don't want to see a business receive a grant, and unfortunately, in 3 months, they go out, and the awning becomes useless. So what we're trying to come up with is a way that maybe the business is either zippered on or Velcro attached, kind of hanging below the main awning, so that if that should happen, we can salvage the awning and use it for the next company that moves into that site, the next business that moves into that site. So we are working on that, and that's progressing. We'll keep you guys in the loop. We're still continuing to work with everybody downtown, trying to get more buildings cleaned up and painted. There's been further work done on the building on the corner of Mountain and Morris. They did continue to paint. I also had a conversation the other day with Verizon. They've promised me that our infamous pole on the corner of Mountain and Morris is scheduled to be done no later than the middle of November. Now, that's only been 6 years, so hopefully we're drawing that to a conclusion. So we'll keep you informed on that one also. Are there any other questions or comments?
John, may I?
Yes, please.
Just to piggyback on what you were saying, so the committee understands, we did have a conversation afterwards. We do have a subcommittee already set up for the grant program that we've come together for, so we'll be bringing that to you guys to be able to converse with that. And we're looking at December 1st to be the time frame of when we'd like to start taking the grants, the applications of those grants, if possible as well. So we're hoping that that timeline works for the committee and everybody else, but yeah, December 1st, we should have the grant program basically ready to at least take in the applications and then start looking at them, having the building department involved, and obviously the committee can put their 2 cents in as well.
And again, you know, we understand that this isn't the end-all to be-all, but we're trying to make steps to improve the downtown, and it's difficult and it's slow, so just kind of bear with us. We're trying everything we can to make it look better.
Chief, we're all set for Halloween?
Yes, we are all set for Halloween. Message boards went up on both ends of Tooker, on Mountain, and up on by Baltus, Schroll, and Bryant. Facebook post should have gone up, if not today, tomorrow, explaining to everyone what we have going on. And we've been getting the word out however else we've been. I think it's on other social media sites as well.
You know, also, we should be getting some weather on Thursday into Friday.
Yeah.
Is there a contingency plan, or is there anything that we can do that if, perhaps the streets or the conditions of the storm makes it, hinders our ability to close down Tooker, would we be able to communicate with the town that perhaps it's in the best interest not to have the street closed off due to the storm damage that we may incur?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. We'll certainly
You can do robocall, it's a good idea.
take it.
I just, you know,
It's a good idea, yeah.
you plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Yes.
And I just don't want an unsafe condition to be out there, especially we're supposed to get hit pretty hard, and I just want to make sure that, you know, we err on the side of caution and safety and give proper notifications when it's
you.
Yeah, and we'll be monitoring everything regularly, and quite a few years back, if you recall, I'm not sure, the ice storm that canceled Halloween for everybody, that was a very interesting year. But, yeah, no, we'll play it by ear and make sure it's as safe as it could possibly be.
Appreciate it, as always.
Certainly.
Speaking of the weather, I was over at Dayton, and they were supposed to have a football game on Thursday. It got switched to Wednesday, tomorrow night. The last game of the season. Let's all go up and show our support. It's tomorrow night, not Thursday.
Mr. Mayor, also, just to piggyback onto the Halloween festivities, I just want everyone to remember that this is the first year the fire department will be collecting candy donations for our neighbors on Tooker Avenue. You know, every year, this Tooker Avenue is getting bigger and bigger, and we see this when we're outside in front of our firehouse. We had last year 20 bags of Costco candy go within 3 or 4 hours. So we definitely hear the plea for the candy from our neighbors on Tooker, so we're trying to create a fund drive here. We have a big bin of candy right now that we're gonna start distributing out, but anyone that wants to donate, come ring the doorbell, and we'll be more than willing to take your donation and give it out.
One thing you can automatically do is just tell your people that the candy is for the kids, not for them.
You know, I had to put big signs on that because, believe me, a lot of people have cavities right now from this candy. But hopefully it works out well this year, and this will be something we can continue on for the future.
Great job.
Thank you. All right, that's it, John?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Minutes, none.
Now, we have the department head monthly reports were emailed. And also, everyone received a copy of the best practice inventory.
It shows that we've met what the state suggests we do to ensure that we're in the best financial standing and doing exactly what we have to do each year to make sure that we aren't fraud and abuse.
Yep.
All right. New business, ordinance, second reading?
None, but we do have 2 ordinances for first reading. Ordinance 2025-19, this ordinance amends the provisions of Chapter 4, General Licensing of the Township Code to include provisions governing redemption amusement devices.
Mr. Mayor, I move for first reading ordinance 2025-19 as read by Madam Clerk, with publication in local source November 6, 2025, with a final hearing on November 25th, 2025.
Second.
Discussion?
Craig?
Mr. Mayor, I'll summarize the ordinance. So this ordinance arises out of a 1959 public question, statewide public question, which put to the voters whether or not to authorize redemption amusement games within the state, and within any municipality where it passed, and it passed statewide, and in any municipality where it passed by a majority of that municipality's voters, it was also deemed to be enacted within that particular municipality. Springfield was one of those municipalities. No ordinance was ever, to my knowledge, was ever codified or adopted to codify the provisions of this law, and based upon a recent application from a business in town, it came to our attention, and the state requested that the town consider adopting an ordinance codifying these provisions of law. Many of these provisions of law have been in effect and binding on the town anyway for the last nearly 60 years. So this ordinance basically codifies those portions of the law. And what this does is this governs for businesses that meet the qualifications. It governs when there's a typical arcade games or the typical, I'll refer to it as Chuck E. Cheese type games, where you are provided a prize through tickets or tokens, not cash value, doesn't apply to anything like that, only applies to getting what are redeemable tickets or tokens or credits that you can redeem for a prize. So this basically covers all of the main areas of the law. And what this, by the way, this allows the township to license a business. There's currently one that might be eligible depending upon how they submit their application and the timing thereof. But it's a two-step process. The town can consider a license application, but it won't go into effect until the state issues a license for that business, for that purpose in this town. So it really involves both the state and the town. Also provides a modest revenue stream for the amusement games and for the annual license for the establishment itself.
Fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Capides?
Yes.
Kaiser?
More amusement games, yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-20. This ordinance amends the Township Code to include restrictions on the distribution of single-use food service items by food and beverage providers unless requested by us.
I'll make a motion to move ordinance 2025-20 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on November 6, 2025, with the final hearing on November 25th, 2025.
Second.
Discussion? That also?
I'm gonna summarize it real quick. And
Yeah.
I know Committeeman Kaiser wants to speak
Summarize it
to it as
all.
well. Last May, Committeeman Kaiser brought to the attention of the Township Committee a sort of a movement in New Jersey called Skip the Stuff. And the basic idea of this is to try to curtail, kind of comes in and helps augment the 2020 state law that went into effect banning certain types of plastic in retail establishments. And what this one focuses on are some things that weren't really part of that. And it's not, doesn't exclusively apply to plastic, but basically it prevents food purveyors from, without the consent of the customer, just adding forks and knives and ketchup and pepper and salt and other things, accessories, is how it's referred to, in the order, again, unless the customer specifically asks for it. So the default then is you don't include these things either for someone who's just walking up to the establishment in person or for delivery purposes. The default is you don't include that stuff unless someone specifically asks for it. This, by the way, there are at least a couple dozen of municipalities within the state who have adopted similar types of ordinances. They vary. This version is somewhat simplified compared to some others that are out there. And the purpose there is so that sometimes it's a little bit more easy to enforce and to follow as the affected public when you're not going overboard. Probably the nearest municipality, at least that I'm aware of, that has a similar ordinance is Westfield.
Yeah, it's.
Branford also.
Yeah, I think it's near 30-something towns have done this, and is a move to tackle what is the pervasiveness of single-use plastics that continue to end up in our landfills, our streams, and pervasive throughout all our ecosystems throughout the world and human bodies. I mean, I think the findings that our legal team found, right, was 40 billion single-use plastic utensils are discarded every year in the United States. 40 billion. That's a lot to say. And I know what right? We all think of these plastic utensils. Hey, if I'm on the go, if I'm sitting in the park, if I'm eating a meal, I'll need a single-use plastic. Well, this ordinance doesn't prohibit it. It just makes that you have to ask for it. But let me tell you the facts. It's something close to 98% of takeaway and delivery food is consumed at your workplace or your home. All of those workplaces and home, you probably already have reusable cutlery at your house. I don't know who doesn't. You'd have to not to have reusable knife silverware. So 98% of the times it's coming home, it's coming at you, and you're throwing it in a drawer and discarding it and never forgetting it, or you're throwing it away. It's not even being used We're just being sold a bill of goods. We're thinking that it's gonna get recycled. It's not. I think the statistic is 9% in the United States of plastic. All plastic is ever even recycled. 9% is even high. I think it's even lower in the state of New Jersey of what gets recycled. Let me tell you, it doesn't go to a magic anywhere else, right? It goes into either the landfill or it's incinerated. The carcinogens, I think plastic is made up of thousands and thousands of chemicals. We don't know what that does to us, right? But it's not, I'm no doctor, but it's not necessarily good, right? Plastics have been linked, found in human tissue throughout our body. So the simple thing is that we have to start to move away from it. Hey, there's no doubt we're going to get rid of all plastics, but where we can and where we can stop the litter and the discard of single use, I think we should be doing it and following in this ordinance will help. And trust me, right? We're joining towns, I think, like Westfield, and other communities. These aren't necessarily the most liberal bastions, but we understand that we want to conserve our environment, and this is one way to do it. So with that, I will happily be voting yes, and maybe I'll come more impassioned when we do our second.
Anything else? Chris?
Nope.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Yes.
Committeeman Capides,
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes. All right. Resolution.
We'll do it by consent agenda.
Sorry?
I just said our line that we always do. Don't listen to me.
2025-261.
Mr. Mayor, can I just make a comment on 261,
Well,
if I may? Only because of wording, and I know we have to do it this way, it's misleading. It's not personal property. This is equipment that either we've replaced, it's seen its useful life, we put it on Gov Deals and try to sell it rather than scrapping it. So it's not personal, it's items that we've bought to use in town, just so we clear that up. It's kind of misleading. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, just to clarify it, so that the governing body knows, because you'll see that same language in future ordinances, future resolutions. It is referred to as personal property only to distinguish it from real property, meaning, land and buildings. So that's, just so everyone understands why it's worded that way.
261, 262, 263, 264, 265, 266, 267, 268, 269, 270. Motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolutions 2025-261 through resolution 2025-270.
Second.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Yes.
Committeeman Capides,
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes. All right, discussion and action items. Township accepts the resignation of Rita Bondes, Mayor's representative to the Library Board of Trustees, effective immediately for a term ending December 31st, 25. And also accepts the resignation of Cheryl Molman as member of the Library Board of Trustees at the termination of her term on December 31st, 2025.
I move to accept the following resignations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just a note if I could, I did not have the pleasure to know Rita during her time as she served, but as a former mayor's representative and a member of the Springfield Library Board, I really do need to say it's a shame to have Cheryl go, although I do understand, obviously her resignation, but I just want to thank her for her outstanding service to the library board. She has been a member for a very, very long time, and she has certainly been very passionate about the library and its use and what it stands for in this town and the asset that it is in this town. And I appreciate her commitment to the service to the board, having firsthand knowledge of who she is and the type of person she is and what she was tried to enact with the library board, and I know that library board will sincerely miss her service to the board, and I wish her the best of luck in the future.
And Rita Fund, as everyone knows, is my daughter. She was my appointed. She's a teacher. She was there, she enjoyed it, and she does a lot with the library. She's still gonna be involved there. But it just got to be too much, with everything with her kids. New York Blood Center, New Jersey Blood Service requested to hold a blood drive at Chisholm Community Center on Wednesday, November 5th, 1 to 7. Hold harmless agreement, insurance certificate attached. Blood drive is in remembrance of Detective John P. Patrick.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Finance.
I'll make a motion to adopt payroll invoices for the period of October 15th, 2025 through October 28th, 2025 in the amount of $5,364,442.60.
Second.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lappa?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, correspondence, New Jersey Water, notice of hearing November 13th, 4:30 to 5:30 for recovery of COVID-19 related expenses. All-in number is 1-862-294-2638. We put that on the board, I guess? We just outside?
I guess we could.
No, let's put it on the board just in case. Public comment on government, any government issue. Yes, sir. Name and address.
Matthew Haber, 31 Glenview Drive. Oh, yes, thank you, man. All right. Good evening, everyone. Last night, the town was faced with the threat of a group of individuals who planned to attend the Board of Education meeting to protest the hiring of a transgender woman as a teacher's aide. However, an overwhelming number of community members showed up to demonstrate that hate has no place in Springfield. In a powerful display of support, only the parents of the targeted teacher spoke to thank the Board of Ed and the majority of people who stood in favor of inclusion. The Board of Ed reaffirmed its commitment to fair hiring practices and fostering an inclusive environment for employees and students. Although I didn't speak at this meeting, I had prepared a statement that I believe is important to put on the public record. I would like to take this time to share a perspective shaped on personal growth and humbling lessons. Years ago, I believed I fully grasped the concept of free speech. In that conviction, I created an online platform where people could express themselves without boundaries. At the time, it felt like a bold and even noble endeavor, but I soon learned a painful truth, that just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. That platform became a breeding ground for harmful and divisive rhetoric, amplifying voices of intolerance in ways that I never anticipated. It revealed the darker sides of human nature, and to this day is one of my deepest regrets. Compounding this, someone took that idea and created an even more toxic version, perpetuating an echo chamber of ignorance that lingers to this day. Even worse, it is full of people I once considered friends. This experience seared into me the profound responsibility tied to free expression, especially on Facebook, and the urgent need to cultivate spaces that uplift rather than destroy. Shortly after reckoning with the consequences of my actions, realizing how even my casual words or jokes could make people feel unsafe or unwelcome, my child came out to me as trans. This moment was a turning point that reshaped my entire worldview. Like so many, I had viewed life through the narrow lens of my own experiences, often failing to empathize with perspectives that felt unfamiliar. My child's courage forced me to confront ignorance and biases head on. It was as if the universe was calling to me to rethink my approach to life, to listen with greater depth and embrace humility. I began to see the wisdom in discerning what I could change, my attitudes, my words, my openness to growth, and what I could not, like the lived realities of others. This journey fundamentally transformed how I understand free speech and online responsibility. Words carry immense power. They can build bridges or inflict deep wounds. As a parent, I've worked tirelessly to create a home and a world where not only my child, but everyone feels safe, valued, and free to be their authentic self. This has meant unlearning a lot of long-held biases, actively seeking to understand their experiences, and owning my own mistakes with humility. It is not always easy, but this process has made me a more empathetic and thoughtful person, committing to fostering a world where everyone could thrive. I stand before you as a parent navigating a deeply challenging and often alarming social and political climate surrounding transgender issues. Public discourse shaped by influential figures, media narratives, and even governmental policies too often portrays trans individuals in ways that are dehumanizing, dismissive, or outright threatening. It is heartbreaking and profoundly troubling that there are people in this town even debating whether a fellow human deserves the same freedoms and dignity to pursue happiness, rights our founding fathers enshrined as inalienable. This is not abstract rhetoric anymore. It is about people with real lives, our children, our neighbors, our friends, whose right to exist authentically is questioned, invalidated, or denied by just a handful of hateful people is too much. I implore everyone listening to pause and reflect deeply. If you believe anyone should be excluded from full participation in society based on their race, religion, sexuality, or gender identity, I ask you to search your hearts for what is just and true. If that reflection leaves you uncertain, turn to history, which bears the painful scars of our collective failures, times when we lost our way by marginalizing and excluding others. Those chapters are filled with regret, serving as a stark reminder that denying anyone's humanity diminishes us all. We are at a crossroads, as a town, as a state, as a country, with the opportunity to choose a path rooted in empathy, inclusion, and respect. As a parent, I've witnessed the extraordinary courage it takes for my child to live authentically in a world that often rejects or misunderstands him. His resilience inspires me to advocate for a society where every individual is valued, where no identity is weaponized, and where the pursuit of happiness is a universal right, not a privilege reserved for some. Let's choose compassion over judgment, understanding over division, and hope over fear. And let us never forget, hate has no place in Springfield. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thanks, Matt.
Seeing none?
Just before we adjourn, I just wanted to say to Mr. Haber, thank you. I give you a lot of credit for what you just said up there. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for you and your family's courage. I know that must have been a lot, and I can only imagine what you family have gone through. And thank you. And that was beautifully said.
We won't reconvene until after the election. So everybody, a week from today, it's your right. Too many people don't take up that ability to go vote, far too many. And unfortunately, if you don't vote, then, how can you change anything? And then how can you complain? So please, polls are open from what time, Linda?
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's a long time, so please get out to vote.
If anybody wants,
That's right, we do have early voting and absentee.
want to work it, we're looking for work.
They are looking for workers.
And I would just like to say, not that I want to keep this going, obviously, any more than we have to, but I just want to say, because I think at least one of us says this at this meeting during this time, what an absolute honor and a pleasure it has been to work with all of you, and especially Harris and Rich.
Thank you.
Your breadth of knowledge, first of all, Rich, of this town, its history, is second to none. You are someone who is certainly respected and admired for your breadth of knowledge, for your history of this town, and all that you've given, not just on this township committee, but through public service, through your long-standing commitment to recreation, programs, kids. You've watched your kids grow up here. You're watching your kids' kids grow up here, and there is no better person to understand the tapestry of what this town is and what this town represents and what it means than someone like you.
Thank you.
And Harris, our deputy mayor, for you to come on here and show the conviction that you have had and your breadth of knowledge, not just on a local level, just someone, a product of this community, but also someone who has had that breadth of knowledge, not only on this local level, but the county and the state level, bringing that knowledge to us, having that breadth of knowledge for us to work with, having the context that you do and the communities that you have worked in, not just locally, but on the county level as the state, has been so valuable to us in our time here and our tenure here. And it's an honor and a privilege to work with the both of you. And you know, it's been a real honor to sit up here with you. And I wish for a very successful and promising future.
Really appreciate those words, Chris. Thank you. My yearly Facebook post, reserve your right to complain and vote. And I also want to recognize St. James on what was an immensely successful carnival that they had this past year. Kudos to Chris for sitting in that glass enclosure.
Well, kudos for the people who had to sit in that glass with me and
Yes.
deal with me for like 3 nights.
So really kudos on that one. I was an immensely successful carnival. For me, I came away with 3 prizes. It was excellent. You're more than welcome to one of mine. And good luck to Rich, David, Kathy, good luck to you. And I also wish myself luck, selfishly. But thank you.
Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hey.